Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome and thank you so much for joining me. Today I am sharing my November No Paper Left Behind wrap-up. I used Auburn Lane by Pink Paisley. I got a bit behind for November because, as many of you know, I was sick, but I think I'm back in the game, sleeping through the night without coughing. But here we are, December 1st, and I have no plan, not a single Christmas card in my house, and about half dozen things I'd like to mail out tomorrow to a bunch of you that aren't even anywhere near ready to go. So I'm going to have to wrap this up and then come up with a December plan pretty darn quick. Before I got sick, I had a lot of things going and I had a lot of videos in the pipeline, so it kind of carried it through. But now, no. And I did a video every day in November, I think, which was pretty cool. I'd like to keep that up for December. Let's take a look at the cards, then we'll look at the journal, and then I'll show you what I have left. And we'll talk about some just other general updates. Okay, on these cards, I used, let's see, sorry, banging around. I had the stickers. I had some puffy stickers. Let's see what we have. Not many puffy stickers left. So, these Pink Paisley collections, the embellishments very often have shapes and themes that aren't in the paper. If you're learning to use a whole collection and mix and match the papers, you might be better off with Echo Park or Authentique, where they keep the colors and the themes the same, because quite frankly, I don't know what I was supposed to do with olive oil and ground nutmeg, except that there are houses, and so there's the theme of home, but I don't know. I don't cook. There was one collection, I'm sure it was Pink Paisley, where I ended up with a bunch of vintage radios and like milkshakes, and they didn't go with anything. So that's something to think about. If you're struggling to mix and match in your collections, some brands are easier than others. Some brands have colors that just don't even go together, where you have to separate the pad and go, okay, these are my mini collections within it. These were cut-aparts that came... Cut-aparts? Embellishments. I guess I had an embellishment pack too, and it had paper and vellum embellishments and some black and white ones that you'll see. So I've layered embellishments and Wink of Stella and some puffy stickers, and then I had the sequins too and a whole bunch of paper. And I should have scraps of paper on the inside of all of them. I didn't stamp anything on the inside. And some of these I made with an idea in mind, like I know I'm behind and I need a birthday card. Okay, I love these little enamel hearts, but they don't stick very well, you guys, at all. Like, for example, there's no world where I put 4 hearts on a card. That didn't happen. I would always put an odd number. But I stored them for about a half a heartbeat in this box, and look. So the enamel hearts, I noticed they weren't sticking very well when I was doing them. So I'm going to find another one and stick it on. I have a lot of weird things. I can't remember who it was, but I saw somebody using their texture paste as snow. And so I experimented a little. So this card has texture paste on the house. And texture paste is, if you're a mixed media person, there are all sorts of pastes that are white. Like, this is a super fancy, expensive one. You don't need this one. I got it as a sample. Coarse molding paste, and this is by Golden. So this is a really nice product, but a whole bunch of brands make them, and they'd be in like the paint or the mixed media aisle at Michael's or anywhere you go. I mean, fancy art stores. What do you guys have? I think AC Moore, any of those places probably. But you don't need it. I just experimented. I probably didn't put it on thick enough so it's not white. Then I put Wink of Stella over it. I put some by the windows. And I have Wink of Stella. So, and then My Heart is Full was a sentiment from one of the papers. So, that one was fun. I thought that would be good for a thank you card. This one says Feeling Grateful. I loved that sticker, so I really wanted to use it and showcase it. So I have a rosette that I sprayed gold. You've probably heard me talk about it. Heidi Swap, Color Shine Gold. I got it at Tuesday Morning. You can get it other places. And there are probably lots of other brands that make a similar product. I love it. I spray it on all sorts of things. The only thing is, when you get your mixed media products and your cards, you gotta wait for them to dry. And then the hearts came in the sticker sheet, and so did this sticker. heartfelt sympathy. Sympathy cards are really hard for me, and I think they need to be simple and not have bling on them, so I resisted the urge to put rhinestones or pearls or anything on the flowers. Just very calm. Hope I don't have to use it. This one, a lot of pink for me, right? These black and white vellum embellishments were in the embellishment pack, and they were hard for me. I didn't love them. But I took a alcohol marker on the back and added some pink accents. It wasn't quite the right pink, but it worked. And I felt like that added a little more interest and warmth to the card. And then I just used my new Thanks die, which is smaller than my other one. And the houses were on a sheet of paper. And when I wasn't feeling good, I laid in bed and fussy cut them all out. Isn't that crazy? But I mean, they were mostly straight. So it's a lot of fussy cutting for me, but not rocket science. And then a strip of paper up the side. And the strips were, the shape and size was chosen based on, it was a scrap on the counter. That's how I picked. Okay, this one may have gotten away from me a little. This is a lot of pattern, a lot of activity here. A lot of paper going on here. So there's a printed paper with the rose gold. I have Winka Stella on the windows of the house. It says hello. And I love this floral paper. And then this is the complementing paper to it. And then there's a black and white floral behind it. And then this layer right here is green. Yeah, it's a lot. That one's a lot. Okay, this one I had another rosette sitting around, circle punched a piece of paper, and I have a piece of cardboard. Like, I always use like packaging. Actually, I think it's thicker than that to sturdy things up. It drives me nuts when they ripple. That, I can't give a card away if it's all rippled and destroyed. This house, you can see it has way more texture paste on it than the other one. And then I put Winka Stella on the texture paste too. I put snow by the door. And this was Stay Classic. I don't know. It was from the thing and I wanted a little more on the card. And then it had some flags, so I used the puffy ones and the flat ones together. Congratulations. This one I made with someone in mind who is busy saving the animals of the world, so she doesn't watch my channel, so we're safe. But she recently had a big move and I think needs a supporting card. So down here I experimented. I never used this stuff, but it was sitting on the counter. Liquid pearls, and the color is platinum. So I put it across the bottom, and then I layered diamond stickles on top of it. And what I was looking for was just an easy, quick way to get some snow. I didn't want to get out my texture paste. It takes longer to dry. These have cute little applicators, so you just go drag it across. I like how it turned out. I would do it again. Can you see? There you go. And then on the roof, I have Winka Stella and a bit of diamond stickles on all the houses. I might go back and put Winka Stella on the windows too. And then I have 3 of those hearts that actually stuck. And this die cut is layered up. So it's the printed paper and then it's on a 110-pound white too, so it has some texture. So I like how that one turned out. I'll definitely use it. I was thinking about what do I need to get out of this being behind. Let's have a coffee break. There we go. My throat needs a little coffee. Okay, this is a funny one, you guys, and it's warped, so I don't know. I'll have to give this to someone that really loves me. This is fun foam. I tried something. So what I did was I fussy cut. Yeah, me. That's how sick I was. I just laid around and like fussy cutting was the extent of my skill level because it's slow, right? That's what I realized. I don't like fussy cutting because it's tedious. These were all in the ephemera pack. They just came that way. But this was up from the paper. So I fussy cut this out. And then after I glued all of the branches down, it wasn't flat anymore. And then this was too thin and it was going to look yucky. And I just didn't like it. So I took a piece of, the poor old dog, she sounds worse than me. I took a piece of, I've got a variety of things in this tub. They're not all the same. Fun foam. I've talked about this before. Crafts section in the US for kids. It's pretty cheap. It's probably cheap everywhere. I think you can order it as crafters too for die cutting, but it was a circle. It was sitting here. So I just tried it and I put it on here. The only thing I don't like, and maybe I shouldn't have used art glitter glue because the foam and the paper probably have different absorbencies, but see, it bowed. So I don't mind the fact that I used a weird piece of foam. I kind of like that, and I might try it again. I just don't like the fact that it's bowed. See, that just makes me, you can't see. Well, you're just going to have to trust me. And then congratulations. So I might try putting something heavy on it and see. But that's one of the reasons that I don't use wet glues to put my cards together a lot. But I noticed that Susan Tootsie Tucker was doing that, and I have a lot of questions about that. And it could be on here I used way too much, because I used a ton because I wasn't sure about gluing foam. And I think that, oh no, we just had a big bad avalanche. Well, when I need to show you the scraps for No Paper Left Behind, I'll show you the floor. Those of you who cleaned off the counter with me the other day, well, it's gotten away from us again. Okay, this one I love. And I do need a birthday card this month, and I think this is the one I made for the person. I'd have to see them all. So I have happy birthday, and again, I layered it up. You don't have to layer your dies. I just, when I have a pattern on a pattern, I want to be sure they have a little texture and dimension. Then I have some houses and a cute little puffy sticker in the middle. I love mixing the puffy stickers with the others. And then I put some, can you see them? There's different ones. I put some sequins and some little flat discs. Are those called sequins too? Okay, super cute. Don't call them sequences. It makes me crazy. They're sequins. S-E-Q-U-I-N-S. We can't just go making up words for things or we won't be able to shop online. Then on the inside I have rose gold paper. I love that paper. It's super girly for me, isn't it? But I love it. Then I have this one. You know, sometimes you just get to a point you got to start gluing stuff down because you're tired. This was one of my scrap cards on the back where I just took it, glued them down at an angle. There was a bit of a hole right there where the things weren't the same size, so I slapped a house over it. And then I had some of these rose gold things left, and I had a bunch of embellishments. I don't hate it. It's totally blank. I think it could work for anything. Thank you, sympathy, new house, all sorts of things. Here's one, thanks. I don't know why there were puffy button stickers in the collection, but I liked them, so I used them. I think sometimes they just add random stuff, right? But more puffy flowers would have served me better. But it's cute, and Winkastella is pretty much everywhere in here. This one I think you saw before, but I added some sequins to it. It says, let's gather, and it was a cut apart from the paper, and then this has stuff on it. And then this one too. Thank you, you are the best. Those are the cards I made. I did not use all the paper, but I'll show you. It's not too bad considering. I made all those cards except for 2 yesterday. And there's not supposed to be a black enamel dot. The enamel dots, see, they're kind of odd. They're not sticking to their paper. That clattering in the back is the dogs. It's always the dogs. Okay, so here's the front. I have shapes from the ephemera pack. I might glue this one down just so it doesn't get snagged. I'm not sure. I have a circle right there of that beautiful rose gold text, a rosette I made, some more ephemera, and a house. No logic, just fun. And I think you've seen this. I don't think I've changed a whole lot since the last video. Usually for No Paper Left Behind we do, this is my favorite page, you guys. I love this with the stamp and the sticker on top of it. We do updates throughout the month, but I just didn't do that much during the month. So I think this is only my second video this month. And this big piece of ephemera I'm just leaving in here. It's kind of cool. And a fussy cut. And I did sew the journal together yesterday and put the adhesive. So this is a pocket. Life may not be the party we had hoped for, but while we're here, we might as well dance. Puffy stickers. Let's see, somebody, I can't remember who it is, I'm so sorry, said you should use stenciling in the journal too. So I have some stencils right here on the corner. I looked through and looked for small, I think I have more too. I must not have noticed them. I looked for small stencils because a lot of my stencils are really big, like for art journal pages. Here, right here. And so I thought that was a fun idea. So in this journal I have stenciling and stamping and stitching and pockets, tuck spots, all kinds of things. And I don't have a plan for the journal yet. Let me show you my tiny, tiny scrap bin. Yep, there we go. Isn't that typical for me? Doesn't it just crack you up? Yep. Oh, there's the bin. So this is what I have left as far as actual paper. I do have some pieces of paper left, but not a card front really. And then, except for these two. At the end of No Paper Left Behind, I can always tell what didn't speak to me. The black and white embellishments, didn't love those. And the mustard houses. Because, look at that. There were a lot of pink houses and I used almost all of them. I do like this one. I don't know why. It might have been misplaced. And then there's some strips right there. So I think what I'm going to do, oh, and I do have these. Remember, I never toss these out. I'm going to put those in my scrap bin, my strips, and I'll make strip cards with those later. I'm not going to keep them in with Auburn Lane anymore just because that's not really the way I'll use them. I'll use them to make backgrounds like that one card. And usually I have you guys pick my paper for December right now, but I need to kind of figure out what I'm doing for December. I have a big trip coming up. My craft room is a mess, and I don't have a single Christmas card in the house because the ones I made for challenges and other things, I gave away. I need a little planning time, and then I'll be back tomorrow with a plan. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.